So this is kind of all going to plan. I just wanted to show you guys what the car looks like while I'm trying to weld the top of the cage. So as I said before, I designed this, the cage up in place, and then I designed it so I could drop it down to weld the tops. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. As you can see, I cut the tack welds, and I've got all these bars behind all my cross bracing. I've got my backs connectors welded in, and obviously these are cut so they're up in the air, sitting up against the top of the trunk there. And I think that's about it. Hello everybody, welcome to the Dirt Floor Fab YouTube channel. We're back working on this cage. I just kind of wanted to throw together this clip that's obviously in the future of the rest of this video. This was shot last. I kind of went through the video and watched, and I think it may be a little confusing to some people on what I was talking about with putting plates on the cage and then sliding them up and sandwiching the floor in. So I got the cage tacked in, as you can see from the front. You can't see it dangling down, but you can see the A-pillar bars and stuff. So the cage is in place, it's tacked in place. As I described earlier, there's these anchor bars that go from the rocker boxes over to this frame connector kit on both sides, obviously. I've got these plates here, which are the 6x6 that most people use to do a unibody car. And what I'm going to do, as you can see, I've got this weld joint that I have to weld. I'm going to weld that first. Then I'm going to take this half of the floor pan, slide it in, cut it all to fit here, get the floor pan in, and then put this down onto the floor pan and weld that to the floor pan. So most people use a 6x6 plate such as this on a unibody cage. That's all the NHRA wants. I didn't like doing that because it doesn't get to frame structure. So that's why I did these anchor plates. So this is roll cage tubing that goes from the inner rocker out to the main frame rail. Same thing on the back, and obviously on the back of the car it's not like that, but I kind of wanted to clarify that before we got into the video. If you guys got any questions, I don't know if I'll be able to help you, but I'll try my best, and I appreciate you guys watching. So guys, I don't really know how much film I got of actually working on the car or doing welding their cage anyways. My GoPro battery decided to die out of nowhere, I assume because of the cold. So I don't know how much of it I filmed. I was going to do a time lapse of welding each one of the joints and everything. So I guess we'll see. I'll throw that in the video somewhere. I've got the cage painted. I've got it primed. I've got it painted. I've got it gusseted. I've got everything put in place. It's still lowered down to weld the tops. As I said before, we had to make it so that we could drop it off of these anchors here and here to weld the tops, and then obviously those lift back up and then sit back on top. And I've got plates to go around each tube. Kind of a long process, but lift the cage up, put the gussets up, and then put them on the bars, weld them down while the plates are still sitting up. Then I've got to slide the floor pan in. I'll probably have to cut that in half. So slide each half of the floor pan in, tack that all down, then put the plates down onto the floor pan, then weld them. So it's kind of a long, drawn out thing, but I think it'll make it the strongest. I got my back pieces here. I don't think I showed you guys this. I'd kind of show you up in there, but obviously I got it all taped off for painting. So here and here, them go down here on the frame rail. I've got my air bleed holes so that it doesn't pressurize these tubes. As you can see, I've got it painted real nice. This is actually a hammered black. So I did ask on the community post for YouTube that what color you guys wanted to see on the cage. I also asked in LS Swap Mopars, and I kind of wanted to do a textured paint, and I ended up with a hammered paint. A lot of the guys on the YouTube post said they wanted semi-gloss. I tried semi-gloss and I tried textured. I didn't like textured. Somebody else said that hammered recoats well, which is kind of why I wanted to go with the textured, because when you have a door bar in here that you're sliding your butt over every time to get in and out of the car, it wears. So if you ever want to recoat it, gloss black, usually it'll fade and then it doesn't reapply well. You can see where it's, so it just looks crappy if you do that. But they say this is what a lot of people go with. So it's got two coats of, well, it's got one coat of primer, heavy build primer, and then it's got two coats of this hammered black, which looks pretty nice actually. Covers up my nice inferior welds, but they'll hold. We've got the new steering column in, twisted metal steering column. It's aluminum column. It's adjustable. I've got to set the preload, or not the preload, but the depth or whatever once I get the seat in where I want it to be after I get the cage back up. It'll be a long process of messing around with it, but this year the plan is to ditch the steering box, all the steering linkage, move it up to the front, and use a Mustang rack or something equivalent to that to use a rack and pinion steering, and then we'll just hook that up, fabricate the new exhaust system if we need to. Got the engine, got some engine parts finally. As you guys know, LS7 lifters were nowhere to be found for a while. We ended up finding LS acceleration. I ended up getting them back in stock. So these are the cheap Delphi. These are the cheap Delphi lifters with trays. They're $140, I think. So I bought 2 sets because I don't want to have to. That was like a 3-month process trying to find without paying $180 to $200 for the cheap lifters that are basically just Delphi's. Somebody else puts their name on them. So bought 2 sets because they're cheap. I got my spring kit 660s. They're not the titanium stuff. It's just the factory retainer. Got a 3.78 ring install tool. We got LS9 gaskets. Got my cam inside. I've got other parts scattered all over every place. Everything's getting kind of hectic now because of the stuff that's going on right now. I guess that's about an update. I don't really know what else to tell you guys. Trying to get this done. Don't know if we'll do another video on the cage. I just want to try to thrash my way through it. I've still got to build the front bars. I've still got to put a dash bar in it. Still got to put a harness bar in it. I still got to mount the seat, which I think, I don't know if I showed you guys or not. I got a fat boy seat because I'm fat. This is a Jegs 20-inch, which they do make a 20-inch. This is considerably cheaper than a Kirky seat. It only took 2 tries. The first one they had a big old gouge out of it here. So I think this was like less than $200 for seat and cover. I just remember that it was like $3 something for a Kirky with the cover. And then they went up as you go wider because I'm 360. I don't know if you guys can tell from the videos, but I'm trying to lose weight, but that's not really going to shrink my hips much. So I got to mount that in there. We got to put the pan in, which is a shame. I think I'm going to end up having to cut this in half. I got a 1-piece pan from, can't remember the people's name now. AMD, yeah, Automail Direct. So I got this from Automail Direct probably 2 months ago, but I'm probably gonna end up cutting it down the trans tunnel just to be able to slip, throw them through the windshield and then slip it in each side and then weld them back together. Besides that, still gotta fill all these holes here in the firewall. Cut out the rest of the inner fenders. That's about it that I can think of. Then I'm going to be starting to build the engine, which is still in there. I still got to get the one head machined, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I want to say thank you guys for watching. I don't know how much more videos are going to be putting out in this near future. I'm gonna try to focus on getting the car ready. Obviously, you guys know what's going on in the United States, so that's in the back of my mind. Luckily, I'm still working, but it's something that's really heavy on my mind. I really feel for you guys that are affected by it. So I guess I'll just say, if you guys want to see more progress, I tend to post more on my Facebook page, the group Dirt Floor Fab Garage Talk. And if you want to share your project there, that's kind of what we did. We opened that group up to have people that watch the channel share their progress, what they're doing. I like that type of stuff. And I can understand right now that everybody's not out there buying a bunch of $high parts and working on their stuff. I've cut way back. I haven't bought anything for the car in a while, and I've just been pounding away at this. The last thing I bought was just paint, which was cheap. But yeah, I understand everybody's kind of not spending a whole lot of money. So if you guys want to hang out in that group, Dirt Floor Fab Garage Talk, the link is in the description. Also have an Instagram you can tag. I don't really know how to do Instagram very well, so I'm not on there much. But yeah. So the next video, I'm not going to say if it's going to be a week or a month or what, but I'm going to keep working, and I guess when I feel like it's update worthy, then I'll give you guys an update. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy and be safe out there.